Hey everyone, so today I'm bringing you yet another writing video, and I feel like I haven't been making them much lately and I miss them, so here I am again. And by the way, something I just mentioned on my main channel, but I want to mention it here as well, is that this is my last video with this horrible background because this is going down. I'm gonna have an epic, awesome room makeover, and thanks to that I'm gonna have a beautiful background very soon, so look forward to that. But today I'm going to be focusing on how to stick to one book because this has been, well, had been a problem for me for many years. It actually was my biggest writing problem, or just like my biggest problem in my productive life for the last 2 years. And well, actually this year I figured it out, but the 2 years, like 2015 and 2016, was effed up when it comes to this. I spent so long being like, which book should I write? I don't know, and then I chose one, and then a different one, and then a different one, and then a different one, and it was just a disaster. It was horrible because guess what? I actually didn't end up working on anything because I was too busy trying to decide which book to write, and I failed to write anything. So because I finally solved the problem, and for this past year I've really figured my shit out and I've been able to stick to one book, I feel like then I can, you know, give you advice on how I finally figured it out. And yeah, I want to give you some tips, so let's jump right into the video. First tip I have is when you're choosing the book you want to write right now, choose the one that's the most exciting for you. Not the one that's like the easiest, the one that you have like, you know, the most figured out for. Write the one that excites you the most, that sets your heart on fire. Because this is actually something I didn't do exactly, because just I feel like what's the most important is, you know, how much we love it, how much we love the story, and how passionate we are about it. Because if you are not excited to write the book, then why in the hell would you write it at all? You know what I mean? Actually, right now there is a fantasy series that I want to write, and it's very complicated, and it's gonna take me so much work. Like, I need to build an entire fucking world, and it's just gonna take me millions of years. I actually need to spend at least like 2 months working on everything that's not writing. At least I don't know how long I'm gonna spend with it, but it's gonna be a long time. And so yeah, but I'm beyond excited for that series because it just makes me so happy, and I think about the characters and I imagine writing it and I'm like, holy fuck, I want it now. And you know, so I'm gonna choose that book over any other books that, you know, don't really excite me that much, and maybe I've figured out a lot for that, and maybe I don't need to outline and create and build a bajillion things before writing it, but it doesn't excite me right now. And it's a book that I want to write eventually, but it's just not the right time for it right now. And so my biggest advice, I feel like, is just choose the book that excites you the most, that sets your soul on fire, because then you're gonna adore working on it and writing it. And it's not, you know, when you're actually gonna love writing it, you're not gonna be that tempted to, you know, drift off to any other book ideas. Number 2 is when you get a new book idea that's like just kind of just not specific much, but just the main plot thing, then just write it down and leave it. But number 3 is when you're super tempted to just write another book that you just have the ideas for, and that just, you know, if you're just tempted to write a different book than the one you're writing right now, just take a week off from writing the novel that you've been working on and just try to develop the book that's completely new and exciting, and try to get some work done when it comes to that. And usually when you work on it and just outline it and build everything and plan everything and do the plotting and character building, blah blah blah, When you do that, you see how much work there is to do when it comes to that, and even though it's new and exciting and fresh and just whatnot, you're gonna see how much work you'd have to do before you could write it, or just during writing it, or whatever. And yeah, and then you're actually gonna be like, okay, I should probably get back to my work in progress, because I've actually worked a lot on that already. I have a lot figured out, and I can actually write the book right now instead of building and blah, 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 you know, all the other shit there is. I think this is just something that really works, because then your temptation is kind of just tamed and calmed down, and you come back to senses and you're able to work on your work in progress instead of that super tempting, fresh, new book idea. And the last thing I want to say is something that's like kind of goes against the moral of this video, and that is everything counts. You know, every word that you do when it comes to writing just counts. Because like I said, I spent 2 years trying to choose the right book. I kept telling myself, I need to write one book, I need to stick to it, because otherwise I'm not gonna write anything. But then I wasted my time with trying to just choose the right book, and then I chose one, and then I went just like I decided to choose another one, then I went back to that first one, but then I decided to write a third book, and it was just a disaster, and I didn't end up writing anything. So even if you find yourself going back and forth from 2 books, it's okay. Like, of course, it's the best thing if you work on only one book, but as long as you keep writing, it doesn't matter that much what it is, because hopefully you're gonna use both at the end, and if it's not gonna turn out to be an actual book, eventually it's gonna teach you a lot. You know, you're gonna practice, and it's gonna make you a better writer, and it's just gonna be it's gonna be just worth it. And so don't waste your time. Don't waste months with trying to decide which book to write. Just start writing something, the thing that your heart tells you to write. And if you just find yourself writing something else from time to time, you can just write some scenes for the other books sometimes, you know. That's what I do when I'm super tempted to write something else, and just keep writing. I think that's the key to just being a successful writer. Just keep writing, and that's, I think, what matters the most. And of course, it's great if you could figure out a way to only work on one book, but it's also okay if you don't. And if you just work on 2 books at the same time, it's fine, because you're just gonna keep writing and you're gonna keep working on it, and it's gonna be absolutely okay, because you're gonna be doing something that's gonna get you closer to your goals, and that's just great. So that's all I want to say for this video. I really hope it was helpful. Goodbye this horrible background. Like I said, look forward to the new background. I'm so excited. I'm just imagining the thumbnails and just how it's gonna look, and I'm so excited. I'm dying a little bit. So right on. Good luck with trying to choose the right book idea. Been there, done that. Like I said, I have a lot of experience with this. It's sad. But like I said, I struggled with this for so long, and I finally figured it out, and I put my shit together, and I finished writing a book this year for the first time. I almost finished another book, and I'm working on the fantasy series that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. So even though you might be struggling really hard when it comes to your writing life, just keep going, and it's gonna get better. You're gonna figure it out, and you're actually gonna finish writing the books eventually if you keep working and if you don't give up. So yeah, that will be it. I really intend to see you soon in my next video with a beautiful background. Yeah. Bye.